Hi everybody, it's Talia here from the Climbing Tree. Today I have a bit of a cooking video with you. I wanted to share with you two of my favorite slow cooker recipes. Now, I love using the slow cooker. I love using it on Fridays, and so a lot of our Shabbat meals are slow cooker recipes because I find that that just gives me time. We can have like a beautiful hot meal and I can have time to like do my tidying up, make sure the kitchen's all clean, do other cooking that I might need for Shabbat in that time, and then I have this all ready to go for the main meal. So that's how I like to use the slow cooker. Of course, with a baby on the way, we will use the slow cooker a lot more when the baby arrives. So I'm going to be preparing a bunch of like the meals like already frozen, so then they can just be put straight into the slow cooker. But really, I feel like you can use the slow cooker even if you have a very clingy baby that needs to be on you, because other than like chopping up vegetables to put into it, you're not using a lot of heat and stuff like this because the slow cooker isn't on yet necessarily. So it's actually a really easy way to cook when you have a little baby. So I love to do that. So we'll be using our slow cooker a lot more, I think, in the coming months. Plus it is winter here and it is pretty freezing. So we're really enjoying having these like really beautiful warm meals and having that smell throughout the house. And yeah, it's just really, really great. So the recipes I've got for you today is a like roast chicken type of thing. Of course it's not roast because it's in the slow cooker, but I do actually roast it in the end because I really like the crispy skin, but you could leave it how it is. And then also doing a Massaman curry. And I'd also intended to do a chicken soup with the leftovers, but after I made this chicken, my slow cooker died. It's just completely gone. A big crack in the bowl and the feet on the outside part of the slow cooker, they had broken a while ago, and it was on its last legs. But Luke and I got this as an engagement present. So, I mean, we've been married for like 12 years in October. So it is like 13 years old, this slow cooker. So I feel like it's done a really good job and we've used it a lot. So I'll definitely be getting a new one ready for when the baby comes. And for this, deliciously cold winter weather. Yes, so I would love for you to check out the other beautiful Jewish women who have contributed to this collaboration. I have all their links below. I'm not going to list them all in their videos because I will definitely miss someone and that would suck. But I'm really looking forward to having some great ideas from these women because I see the things that they cook and the way they raise their families, and I am really keen to like try some of their recipes for sure. So that will be delicious. I hope that you enjoy these videos. Please give it a thumbs up. Definitely check those other links for the other people in the roundup. That would be great. And yeah, see you next time. So today what we're doing is a whole chicken in the slow cooker. I prefer to like take it out at the end and just give it a little bit of a roast because I like to roast my vegetables separately anyway. But what you could easily do with this recipe, if you were wanting this to be all ready when you came home from work, you could put your vegetables in here as well, and then you'd have everything nice and soft and cooked and it would be delicious. And what we're actually going to do with this, after we've cooked our chicken in the slow cooker, we're going to use some of the juices to make a nice gravy to go with it. And then we're also going to put all the chicken bones back into the slow cooker once it's finished, and we're going to make a chicken stock. So this is a really, really easy recipe. It's hardly even a recipe, but let's go through and I'll do it now. So we're starting with our potatoes, and I'm just going to put them down the bottom here. Now, we possibly won't even eat these potatoes like this for the meal. This is just to protect the chicken so it doesn't stick to the bottom, because I like to take it out to roast it. These onions are for flavour though. I stick them in there with the skin and everything because we're going to make a stock with this sort of stuff afterwards, so it's really, you know, fine to have it in there. Got a bit of time. I'm going to put half in the bottom now and the rest in later. Got some garlic, using up the rest of the packet. And I'm just going to really randomly chop through a bunch of this. And I'm going to take most of the skin off, but you know, if there's skin left over, again, that doesn't really matter. It's not such a nice one. Okay, so put this garlic all in. You can see what it looks like so far. Looking delicious. Now we're going to get our chicken. And this is completely defrosted. I'm just going to put the whole thing in. So we've got our whole chicken in there. I'm going to put these bits of thyme over the top. And that's it. I'm just going to put it in the slow cooker now. I don't feel like this needs to have any liquid put into it because the chicken will leach out its own juices. But yeah, I'm happy to just put it in like that. And then this should be fairly easy to take out at the end of the cooking time. So I can just stick it into the oven with put a little bit of oil on the top to make the skin crispy. So my chicken has had about 5 hours in the slow cooker on low, and it's looking nice and cooked. So now I'm going to transfer the chicken to a tray and just put it in the oven with a little bit of oil to crunch it up. So here's my chicken, got the oil on. It's cooked really beautifully, so we just have the oven on a high temperature just to like roast these up. And I've got my other veggies in there as well. So I've taken all the juices and onion and garlic that were in my slow cooker, and I've put them into a frying pan with some chopped up celery and carrot, and I'm just kind of mashing all of those bits of onion and garlic into it, and this is going to make my gravy. Okay, the second dish that I'm making is a Kosher Massaman curry. It is super easy to make, and this is definitely one of our favorite Shabbat meals because it's just really easy to put together. I love, obviously, making things in the slow cooker for Shabbat because Friday can be a pretty hectic day, and you can just sort of get this done in the morning, and then it's, you know, all organized. So for this recipe, I'm cutting up 2 onions, and I'm just, you know, cutting them like pretty roughly in a decent size. You want to be able to like have a piece of onion, if that makes sense. And what I didn't show in this video, I don't know what happened to the clip exactly, but I'm also chopping up a couple of large potatoes. If they're potatoes with like a dirty outside, then you want to like wash them and peel them. And if they have like a clean skin, then just wash them and you can leave the skin on. I quite like that. There's a lot of nutrients of root vegetables like in the skin. So if you can leave them on, then it's good to do that. You could also use sweet potato if you wanted a different variety in this. It's not like the classic massaman curry flavor, but it would still work fine. I want to show you this little hack that I'm doing now, which is that all those skins of the onion I am putting into a Ziploc bag. Now I'm just reusing this bag that we buy frozen berries in, because it's, you know, why would I buy a new Ziploc bag when I already buy frozen fruit in these bags, and, you know, it still comes together fine. I make sure I label it very clearly that it is, you know, bits for soup, veggies and whatever. And then I can just put that into my freezer. I can keep it in there. I can just keep adding bits and pieces of veggie to it whenever I have it. And then when I'm going to make a stock, like I did for the chicken, I can use all those leftover bits, scraps of veggies, and they haven't been wasted. So the meat that I love to use for massaman curry is this gravy beef. There, you could use any type of beef that is like a long, slow cooking one. But yeah, you just want to have a decent amount of it. And I'm also using 2 tins of coconut milk. And then I'm just going to like half fill one of the cans, transfer it so that I get everything out of the coconut milk, and a little bit of extra water in there is totally fine. And I want to cut up my meat into decent chunks, and I want to put that in there as well. Oh, and before I do that, I want to get my massaman curry paste. Now, massaman curry is, like the paste is super easy to make, but you can also buy it really readily. Obviously, well, not obviously, you want to get a kosher one, and if you're just sort of like ingredient kosher, then you just want to check that there's no shrimp paste and stuff like this in there, just depending on what your level of kosher cooking is. But I find that this one that we get, it's not too spicy, so I use the whole tin for this recipe, and I want to mix it through so that it gets through everything. And I also want to apologize for the excessive wielding of a large knife in this video. Obviously I was just feeling lazy, didn't want to dirty another instrument for the kitchen. So I've just put my beef in there and put it on, and then I'm just putting the slow cooker on. And really this can, because the beef won't dry out or get gross or anything, so you can actually leave this in here for a really long time if you need to. And we just serve ours with rice, and you can see here how beautiful and tender that is. But I would definitely recommend that you leave this in the slow cooker, even on high, for at least six or 8 hours. You know, the longer the better, really. But this is one of our favorite meals. It is absolutely delicious. I hope that you guys really enjoyed these recipes, that you can make them at home. I tried to do simple recipes that were easy to put together for busy families that fed a lot of people as well, and didn't require too much extra stuff. That gravy that I made for the chicken was the best gravy I've ever had in my life. So definitely use up your chicken juices that way. And if you have leftover gravy made that way, you can add it to the chicken stock. If you choose to do that. I actually did end up making the chicken stock like on the stove in a big pot, but I didn't include it because this was a slow cooker recipe collaboration. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. See you later.